Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the annual Wehrmacht Opel Blitz rally. Yes, indeed, we'll be watching Opel Blitzes race through the streets, watching as they dodge Allied aircraft to get those valuable supplies to the front. Yes, indeed, an annual event, quite exciting, and the winner shall be getting a hot meal and a pint of lager. And of course this would all be possible, except these are just sort of Opel Blitzes, part of this scenery, and that can be blown up and are not drivable, and sadly no drivable Opel Blitzes are in the game. So no, instead I'll have to entertain you with a 1 vs 1 on Sturzdorf. Yes indeed, quite exciting, third attempt in fact, since Fraps kept acting up, but apparently I've now got an update that should help on higher resolutions, which is what I'm playing on. So let's hope it actually bloody well works. And of course Sturzdorf, sort of rather divided with buildings, makes for some rather interesting moves. There's this sort of dominant building though, which does have a nice open territory, at least partially, so with a bit of barbed wire it can be made strong, but at the same time buildings, other debris and such provide some blocking lines, meaning of course some opponents can't sneak about, get closer to your defenses, and in some cases weapons like heavy machine guns and packs and such can find themselves a bit in trouble, because again buildings rather limit how much they can actually get out of their arc of fire. So let us go have a look at our opponents. In the northern corner it shall be Iskierda. Yes indeed, Iskierda. I have absolutely no idea who he is, but I'm pretty sure he's a high level chap, since the other guy who's in them is as well. Iskierda of the 3rd Infantry Division, and it is somewhere in the Hürtgen forest, or at least we'll imagine it. And who shall be fighting him? It shall be AirReloaded. Yes indeed, a lot of reloaded air fighting for the 116th Panzer Division. And in fact, let's get right down to it. And who were the 116th Panzer Division? They were a formation put together during 1943-1944, combined from the remains of the 16th Panzer Grenadier Division, which had been shattered on the eastern front, and then combined with the 125th, 35th or something like that Reserve Panzer Division, thus creating a fresh Panzer Division, or at least somewhat. It had some mix of older tanks, partly due to the reserve aspects, so some Panzer fleets, some Panzer force, but in Hürtgen it would probably have been slightly better equipped, as it was getting made ready for the fight in the Ardennes. Operation Wacht am Rhein unternehmen. American commander so far, no barracks, though he's going for a lot of engineers, so it's certainly looking like a 4-engineer start. Question is, shall it be 4-engineer barracks, or shall it be 4-engineer weapon support center sniper start? That's rather key here. In the meanwhile, the Wehrmacht commander is going slightly more regular approach. Volkspioneers coming out of the Wehrmacht quarters, pioneers sitting to either side, going for the fuel. And notice the American going for the 4-engineer start, but at the same time also securing quite a bit of munitions, probably to ensure that he can get plenty of flamethrowers for his engineers, possibly also get some mines down. And there we go, barracks going up, and the American camp quarters, or whatever you'd call it. So nice detail right there. We'll be seeing 4 engineers, riflemen then. Bit more of the rarer start, but it's certainly not potent, because again those 4 engineers can right away provide with a lot of ability to seize territory. And what is he doing here, Mr. AirReloaded? Well, that is a bit of a trick when you're sort of taking territory in an area where you're rather feeling your troops might be exposed. Then before you begin seizing it, you lay down sandbags, so if you get engaged while doing so, your troops will already be in heavy cover and thus less exposed, and be able to fight your enemy a lot more properly, in particular in this case, since there's not really a lot of heavy cover within range, and this one would actually leave them a bit more exposed as well. So quite nicely done there by AirReloaded, and certainly something I'd recommend other players to take note of and perhaps emulate. Engineers continuing in the east. I've got a nasty cold, bit bothersome right there, but what can you do? Engineers continue to seize territory. Wehrmacht securing in the west, laying down barbed wire here and there. What could this mean? Riflemen heading down from approach, but of course barbed wire can be used more than just here to sort of block approaches, but also to deny your opponent cover. Heavy cover, light cover, and of course just make it a lot harder to move forward. So of course in this case, granted, the Wehrmacht just a nice bit of cover right there. Engineers continuing in the east. Very nicely there, Volkspioneers engaging the riflemen pulling away, not quite keen on fighting the Volkspioneers there. MG42 hiding in the administrative building of the work quarters there, opening up on the riflemen right away, but they do manage to get away. Good show there, although in this case I might recommend perhaps wiring off this bit, perhaps laying down some mines here, so that it will be a bit easier to defend and not so easily rushed from numerous sides. That of course is a nice move there. And engineers just continue pushing in the east. Flamethrowers being equipped for some. No mines as of yet, though. But it's certainly be having quite a bit of munitions now, already holding most of the map due to the rather heavy engineer presence. Although it looks like these have calmed down. More riflemen arriving on the field. Looks like he is preparing to make a larger assault, waiting for all troops to get ready. Engineers trying to pioneers trying to lay down more barbed wire, already hanging wide off this approach as well. Engagement right here. Hürtgen is not having laid down sandbags. Engineers with flamethrowers moving in from the flank or from the rear. But 10 Hürtgen versus 3 engineers. This is not going to end well for the engineers, who are going to get gunned down. And so far, 2 Hürtgen teams and an MG42. Nothing else from AirReloaded and the 116th engineers pushing forwards in the east continually. Riflemen pushing forwards in the west. All jolly good for now. Snipers getting ready from the Wehrmacht quarters, not the most unusual starts. And note right there, when placing barbed wire at the edges of a map, you usually want something a bit more to actually block off this tiny strip here, or units will sneak past it. That's something one should probably try to make a note of and try to work into your strategies. And looks like we are seeing some pioneers and engineers fighting here. Pioneers popping into this small building and getting a flamethrower. And what do the engineers do? They pop right into the opposing building, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do when your opponent is using a flamethrower against you. As you might have noticed, those engineers are getting quite toasty, but riflemen are pushing hard in the west. Engineers with more flamethrowers. Yes, indeed, quite a few flamethrowers. Hürtgen is hiding there. At the same time, though, they are leaving their cover a bit. At least American riflemen could push through here from the south, of course, hiding behind the logs. And there we go. Oh dear, Hürtgen is leading the cover, leaving it. Riflemen approaching from all points. Getting the drop on the Volksgrenadiers. Oh dear. Sniper though opening up on the riflemen. Riflemen continuing though to hunt down the Volksgrenadiers. Opening up on them, but the riflemen are simply getting torn apart. Too much firepower from the Volksgrenadiers, and there we go. Riflemen forced away with quite heavy losses without a single loss for the Volksgrenadier forces of AirReloaded. Quite amazing, quite astounding, quite good, and of course also shows why barbed wire can also be a bit of help again. Sort of kept them also out in the open, but then again could easily end up badly for AirReloaded as well. Rifleman getting reinforced. So far it seems like he's relying only on 3 teams. He's getting the supply yard right away. Skirmish phase has been reached. 3 pioneers, and he's probably going to be setting up a creep barracks with his pioneer team back at base. Riflemen are advancing, engaging pioneers, forcing away, leaving the east rather open, and the American is still holding most of the area. He's also opening up with the largest front, thus having more option in where to attack than again, so could the Wehrmacht commander, if so decided. Supply yard is almost up, if not fully. No, they're still working on it. Engineers getting ready for an assault. Riflemen moving in as well, looking to make numerous point 1. Lots of flamethrowers now. MG42 opening up on the engineers, not quite unfortunate, but pioneers running away. Munitions being taken there. Snipers opening up on something, but what thing I know not. And there we go, motor pool for Iskierda, but at the same time AirReloaded has sort of divined the idea of the Americans, that is to go for the motor pool. Why is that? Some of you might be inquiring. Quite curious. Well, thing is, the riflemen have no upgrades as of this stage, and usually that means, if you're as the Wehrmacht, that he's probably going to go for either a weapon support center, though that's a bit rarer, but most likely he's going to go for armored cars, or even rarer, tanks. So in these cases, you usually go for a Pak-38 to prepare yourself for such an eventuality. Perhaps some grenadiers with a Panzer or something else, but really generally get something that can deal with armored cars, otherwise they're going to deal with you. And looks like mines have been laid down by the American commander. Good show there. Of course, again, he holds most of the munitions points, so he can get away with that. Minesweeper pioneers already anticipating without really having fought them. Good show there by AirReloaded. Always, in particular, once you get high up, anticipate that your opponent's going to use mines, because he probably is. Sniper, though, on the hunt. Quite exposed, though, has to be careful. Pak-38 advancing very slowly, creeping through there. Not the main anti-tank gun by this stage of the war. That would be the Pak-40, equipped with a 75mm gun, and also the most maneuverable of those larger guns. In fact, one of the few that could be sort of manhandled, that is crewed around by people. Minesweeper pioneers burned alive as they were laying down mines, and engineers getting sniped to bits. Not quite looking good there, but the Americans are pushing onwards. Flamethrower engineers moving in from the south, but getting stopped by, oh dear, they're hiding inside a building, and snipers and everything else is nearby. Pioneers might get burned. Riflemen pushing forward, and there we go, pioneers burning alive. One is caught in the building. Engineers could be lost as well. They're retreating right through all of the forces, but this is a But mines, yes indeed, good show there. And mines can really stop an enemy assault. M8 moving in, and of course in this stage the Pak-38, again, as you might notice, the buildings are making it a bit easier for the Pak-38 to maneuver about, charging in, opening up, Grenadiers advancing, but now the Pak-38 advancing, and then again also making it sort of slightly unfortunate though. Can be outmaneuvered. M8 getting hit, it just needs to drive past the building, come on. No, Iskierda was simply too slow. Pak-38 scores the kills for the fatherland. Pak-38 at this stage would have probably been handed out to anyone who couldn't get the Pak-40s and some security units and whatnot. Motorpool will probably have something else. Not looking too good for an American friend that at this stage barely has any units left. In fact, he has lost all 4 engineer teams. Although AirReloaded did lose a Volksgrenadier team, he has also lost some pioneers, but otherwise not suffered heavy losses. This was an interesting move, but sadly it was stopped by mines, which rather ended in the death of the engineers. Nothing else from the Amerikaner, although they are looking to push forwards once more. Volksgrenadiers, riflemen and grenadiers engaging right here. Grenadiers presenting themselves as slightly more veteran troops and laying down sandbags again. Yes, light cover can provide a bit of protection. Yes, again, laying down sandbags in line of fire will make you a bit easier to hit, but again, light cover can negate that a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Still Flaps apparently decides it wants to be funny. Oh no, I don't think it is. Riflemen and Volksgrenadiers engaging right there. And engineers cutting the barbed wire, thus freeing up the cover while they're pushing through there. Jolly good show again. Barbed wire can't be cut through. No attempt at actually clearing up that or securing it. Riflemen advancing straight into this large force of grenadiers. Oh dear, and looks like a rifleman team was cut down. Was it? Could have been. And stormtroopers now being called in, representing troops of perhaps some SS unit. Oh dear, these riflemen getting absolutely torn to bits. Grenades having been researched, and oh dear. Down to 3 units. Again, quite terrible. Although a mine there does quite a bit of damage to the grenadiers. But stormtroopers now pushing forwards. No assault rifles or Panzer Shreks as yet. Then again, stormtroopers are pretty tough troops. And there we go, Panzer Shrek. Riflemen pushing through here, securing what they can for Uncle Sam. Stormtroopers cloaking up, advancing very cautiously through the brush, and Iskierda apparently not feeling too well today. And apparently AirReloaded the same. Still think it has some interesting bits, so that's why I rather went for it.
Pioneers have the point. Jawohl, Mynheer. Losing a sector. Pioneers here.
Pioneers with flamethrowers. Riflemen securing territory there. All those stormtroopers moving in. Bundle grenade. Yes, indeed. Will the riflemen discover it? Yeah, only 1 killed. Quite fortunate, otherwise the bundle grenade would have done some very terrible damage. It looks like a weapon support center is on the way. Could be what might be changing things a bit. MG42 opening up on the riflemen, retreating but not doing anything. And looks like AirReloaded is pushing forward. Let's go look at Iskierda, who has gone what? No doctrine as of yet, although he could go for infantry and get some artillery right off the bat. Volksgrenadiers, stormtroopers and riflemen fighting away. Could perhaps be some of the more veteran troops of the division. The ones who had actually been in Normandy and survived, and possibly even from the 16th. That is, Eastern Front veterans of the highest order. Rawr. Securing territory there. The Americans are now beginning to lose some of all their territory, having fought hard, but sadly not able to preserve the units to keep on going. Medic station going up. About time, actually. Sniper on the way from the weapon support center, no mortars, but then again, infantry, some artillery, perhaps down on this building. Could do quite a bit of damage. Grenadiers now advancing in support of the stormtroopers. Quite the solid infantry force right there. And riflemen getting engaged by this strong infantry force. Mines being laid down by the engineers. Riflemen retreating. Sniper advancing.
Supply lines are broken. We have
and stormtrooper goes down, shot through the face. Helmet tumbles away far from his body, and the rest decide they might want to cloak up and hide. Pioneers laying down lots of mines, getting shot though, and this could of course be for Iskierda the key to notice. Well, right, my opponent might have laid down some mines, and oh dear, Pioneers could be lost. A grenade, in fact, are hoping to detonate the mine. Of course, that's one way to do it. Pioneers were lost, but the mine wasn't finished, so cancelled. AirReloaded wasn't quite keen on that. Second Pioneer team also caught. Oh dear, and the Americans immediately begin recapturing right there. BARs now equipped for only 2 infantry teams. Seems a bit off. But then again, and MG42 opening up on the riflemen. Still no artillery, no anything. Still lots of grenadiers and stormtroopers hiding there. Riflemen taking heavy losses. Sniper doing nothing. But medics are moving forwards. And replacement riflemen on the way. And looks like a Stu 42 Sturmhaubitze 42 is moving forwards. Tactics for a larger Sturmgeschütz formation, which had both Stu 4 and Stu 42, would usually involve the Stu 42 keeping the infantry at bay while the Sturks finish off the armor, and then of course turn to the infantry. I mean, they did have some lot of thought into the whole Sturk concept. Yes, they were supposed to deal with armor. That again was not the main priority. It was basically dealing with whatever the infantry needed dealing with, which of course could be infantry, could be armor, could be infantry, could be placed positions, all the good stuff. Riflemen advancing straight into the Stu 42. 105mm howitzer shell flying through the air and doing a bit of damage, forcing the riflemen away. And stormtroopers hiding with their Panzer. Riflemen running straight into the MG42 once more. Still no doctrine. Volkswagen is holding the line. And a mine goes off. Heavy losses. Right, my apologies. Flaps again decided to sort of be funny. Don't like it, but there you go. Not entirely sure why Flaps has such a temper today. .57mm gun on the way, looking to deal with that Stu 42. Pack 38 still hiding there. Medic getting gunned down. Bunker up for AirReloaded. Whatever shall our American friend do? Got quite a bit of munitions, but sadly he's not employing them, which is rather his main problem. He might have actually been floating around a bit too much munitions too long, not enough mines, not enough everything. Volkswagen is heading towards the west. Pioneers towards the east of 116th, doing quite well considering the circumstances. Quite a few Grenadier stormtroopers. Volkswagen is getting sniped at from C1 for the sniper. Sticky bombs on the way as well. Still no doctrinal choice. Then again, I can't help but feel but infantry doctrine with some artillery would do him quite well. The MG42 apparently going elsewhere. Stu 42 begins blasting away. Sticky bombs and anti-tank gun ready at the same time. American forces pushing through in the east. Only some Pioneers left to hold the line. There we go. Volkswagen goes down. And these Pioneers are coming under quite a bit of fire. Riflemen with BARs charging forwards. Will the Pioneers hold? No, they are running. Will they survive? No, they get slaughtered. And anti-tank gun opens up on the Stu 42. Although the armor can deflect a bit there. Also, fun thing to note, the 57mm anti-tank gun wasn't actually an American design. It was a British design, basically their 6-pounder gun, which the Americans copied because they realized they didn't have anyone. Grenades being used by the riflemen. Oh dear, could do something nice to the grenadiers. No, not loved enough. Oh dear. Riflemen, retreat! Retreat! Iskierda, retreat your troops! You know, press T, retreat! Before it's too late. Oh no.
Casualties being reported.
Have absolutely no idea why he didn't retreat them right there. Could have been a bug, I suppose. Those are not
We have aerial recon
happen from time to time, I fear. And now he's gone strafing run. Not the artillery which could be used to blast out the Germans from their strong positions. Bit unfortunate there. But he has strafing runs, I suppose.
Krauts are grabbing our territory.
Quite a bit of fuel as well. No upgrades for the supplier though, and another anti-tank gun moving in. And now a Tria center.
57 crew ready for order.
Sticky bomb on the Stu 42. Stormtroopers advancing, going straight for the sniper. Oh dear, will the sniper make it out of there? Stu 42 has a damage engine thanks to the... oh goodness.
Our forces are taking casualties. Supply lines are broken.
That was rather unfortunate for him. Iskierda's unit preservation does not seem to be doing too well today. And the Stu-42 can kill that much in one hit, though it does tend to be one of the more extreme results. Stormtroopers advancing straight towards the anti-tank guns. Rifleman advancing, sniper moving in as well. And there we no, that was an anti-tank gunner. Bomb grenade at the rifleman, but misses. Although it does wound the rifleman quite a bit. And there we go, Stormtroopers getting cut down on the retreat. Heavy losses, no, not quite. The American 3rd Infantry Division not doing too well this day. Volkswagen is picking up a BAR. And going forward. Rifleman getting suppressed. Still no real usage of his munitions. There we go, strafing run. Pinning down the anti-tank gun and the Volksgrenadiers. Causing a full retreat, good show. And engineers in the east not doing too well.
They're taking one of our points.
Oh so very quiet, oh so very quiet. Sniper sniping the German medics while the American medics put back the wounded and could in fact reform a full unit there.
Ready.
Which certainly would make him a bit more happy. Stu-42 fully repaired. Grenadiers going forwards in the east. Lots more troops hiding here. German sniper on the move, hoping to get the American one. Stu-42 opens up once more. Anti-tank gun ready to support, perhaps. There we go. Quite a bit of damage right there. There's more Stormtroopers sneaking about now with assault rifle. Sturmgewehr 44. Good show. And the Americans just pushing onwards. And there we go. MG-42 gun is getting sniped. And American gets counter-sniped but not hit. Grenade could be lobbed at the... yes, indeed, using the strafing run or the recon run to spot the sniper. Good show there, and then a counter snipe. German counterattack moving in. But American... Oh, come on. American assault getting turned away, and yes, again apologizing for this. For some reason, this is just not going too well. And then a strafing run to sort of save his bacon right here. But not doing too well. And this is certainly not looking well at all. Anti-tank guns now left exposed. Engineers the only thing to really save things. Now riflemen are charging forwards in a desperate bid. And then we go some other Stormtroopers clearing things out with their lovely assault rifles, turning the riflemen to ash. And they're hitting a mine, getting suppressed. Absolute chaos for everything, although certainly not looking good for the Americans at all. Grenade clearing out the Stormtroopers. Stu-42 still there. Blasting away. Keeping the Americans' noses down in the dirt. Or possibly mixed up among the dirt if it gets blown off. But Iskierda pushes onwards, riflemen getting reinforced. And looks like Mr. AirReloaded has now realized he needs more forces in the west. The Americans making a slightly successful push this time around. Though he's still lacking manpower desperately. Still no supply and upgrades, riflemen getting ready. Veteran T2 riflemen, snipers sniping the medics. Stormtroopers
Losing ground out there.
well, crying over the wounded medic right over him. Other Stormtroopers advancing, fresh ones in fact. And hoping to get off a button grenade, but no, the riflemen run straight at them for some reason. And the riflemen get gunned down. Oh, they were trying to recapture the MG-42, but no. The Stormtroopers gun them down, recruit the MG-42. And then one gets killed by the anti-tank gun. Grenadiers clear out the east, and another anti-tank gun rifleman moving in. Sniper, can he fire? Fire, sniper, fire. I do believe it's time to have a look at AirReloaded. And the Grenadiers are taking a beating themselves. And now the Stu 42 again moves forward. And looks like something's getting called in from above. Airborne. Might be a bit too late though. Or not.
Enemy is down to 100 points.
A 30 cal machine gun ready there. Could be a support drop or not. And GG. Iskierda reporting he lost way too many rifles. Yes indeed, although too many engineers I'd also argue.
We're losing territory.
Oh, so very quiet now. The 116th pushing forwards, and there we go. AirReloaded Tommy Gaga. So there you go, a quick 1 versus 1. Tomorrow I'll be able to bring you another 1 versus 1. I've got some... Well, I've been able to get a bunch of high-profile games or high-level games. As you might have noticed here, we have Tommy Gaga. Yet recently we had Latrodectus versus Rommel Slayer. And I've even got one from Cheeseburglar. So yes, indeed, quite a lot of good games coming for you, my wonderful viewers. And of course, what can we learn from this? That's again the sort of question that always haunts us. Oh well. Haunts you, I suppose, more than me, but what can we learn? I mean, we saw a rather aggressive start from the American. Trouble is, I mean, he had all the munitions, but I rather felt he could have used that a bit better. I mean, perhaps some mines, you know, besides the flamethrowers, and then of course he made a few hurried attacks which didn't quite work well. Medic station, I feel, also was a bit too slow. I mean, he could have gone a lot earlier and perhaps kept things a bit more going in the longer run. A supply yard, of course, always nice. So there you go. I mean, AirReloaded, aka Tommy Gaga, did well. I mean, he sort of created a strong line, had good usage of barbed wire to sort of deny his opponent cover, mines as well, which resulted in several American assaults getting simply broken up and ruined, quite frankly. So good show there, good usage of Blitzkrieg, good usage of the Stu 42 and the Sturmtruppen. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you did, want to subscribe and tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? I'm sure you've got something exciting waiting right there. If not, well, there's always another time, because again, just keep sending and eventually there might be something really exciting there. So, feel free to spread the word and see you tomorrow.